From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Afternoon Edition.
And right now in the Afternoon Edition, it's the largest investment ever to crack down on smash and grabs right here in the Bay Area and all across California. Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Yamamoto. We know retail theft has been a major issue in the Bay Area. Now the city is giving out millions of dollars to cities to help fight organized retail crime. Today, local law enforcement officials talked about how that money could be a game changer.
We have a whole lot more work to do. Currently, the SFPD works with our local and state and federal partners. However, this grant will allow us to do more. We've already staffed up in some of our major retail areas where these types of thefts have been occurring. We've added dedicated personnel, we've added ambassadors, we've increased our foot beats.
We are able to set a new tone in the state of California that this conduct is completely unacceptable and will not be tolerated.
And here's a breakdown of what local cities will get. San Francisco Police received just over $15 million. San Jose and Daly City PD both get about $8 million. San Ramon more than $5 million. Palo Alto will receive nearly $5.2 million. But do you know what city did not get a dime? Well, Oakland. Why? The city and its official missed the deadline to apply for the money, blaming its Economic and Workforce Development Department. And now Oakland businesses are getting even more fed up.
It's no joking matter. We're in a very, very dangerous and precarious time for Oakland neighbors and businesses. Public safety is far and away the #1 issue, and to miss something that would bring millions of dollars at a time when we have a budget deficit of over $300 million.
It's a humble request to the City of Oakland Council members, Oakland City Mayor, please do something. Please take a strong action.
In a statement, the city of Oakland says, obviously this outcome is unacceptable. The city and department are reviewing everything that happened to ensure it does not happen again and will take appropriate action. San Jose police are investigating a deadly stabbing inside a garage near San Jose State University. Authorities say they do have a person of interest in custody. This happened just after 4 this morning in the area of South 4th and San Carlos streets. The victim's identity has not been released so far. No word on a motive. And for the first time in American history, United Auto Workers are striking against the so-called Big Three. Economists say every day that auto workers are off the job will have a sharp impact on the American economy. And today, President Joe Biden dispatched 2 of his top aides to Detroit to help resolve this strike. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
With auto workers on the picket line instead of the assembly line, President Biden addressed the biggest labor action of his presidency.
It's my hope that the parties can return to the negotiation table to forge a win-win agreement. To continue our active engagement, I'm dispatching 2 members of my team to Detroit.
The big 3 automakers, Ford, GM, and Stellantis, are making record profits.
Record corporate profits, which they have, should be shared by record contracts for the UAW.
The United Auto Workers Union is asking for a 40% pay hike. Automakers have offered half that. The UAW is also seeking a shorter work week and a return of pension plans.
For the life of the contract, the initial demands were over $100 billion. We still have a ways to go with the offer they put on the table last night.
GM CEO Mary Barra told CBS News the companies need to step up their investment in new technology as vehicles transition from gas to EV.
Negotiations are on hold until Saturday. Economists say with each day of the strike, more ripple effects will be felt, impacting all Americans.
The best estimates that we've seen as far as the cost of this strike, it could potentially be upwards of $5 billion of total damage in the first 10 days.
It's also a tricky political problem for the president, who has called himself the most pro-union president in American history. But he's also banking on an improving economy as he runs for re-election.
And President Biden spoke with both union reps and company executives last night ahead of the strike. He's likely to continue to talk with both parties until that strike comes to a resolution. Okay, let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Darren Peck inside the Matrix, where we're talking about, well, it's not fall yet, but it's like fall-like.
Is that what you're calling the virtual weather set, by the way,
yeah,
the Matrix?
The Matrix. the CBS Matrix.
Right, that's a good one. We're taking suggestions, so that one that one might win out. Take a look at the Matrix and the virtual map that we're standing on here. You can see the bay laid out in all of its intricate detail and the beauty of the topography. And in the big monitor here, we're also taking a look at live updating high-resolution satellite. That's us. From space today, you see how widespread the marine layer is on there, but it has started to clear out from the bay. It's still got most of the coast, but it's at least starting to give most of the bay a bit of a break. We take a look at where we're going today for daytime highs, and that's actually what we're looking at now. We can put any different kind of parameter on the map that we want, but for right now, we wanted to spotlight where we're going today. This is your Friday. Be in the low to mid 80s down in the South Bay. These numbers for the South Bay, the inland valleys, these are all pretty much right on the mark for average for this time of year. So if we come back over from the Tri-Valleys mid-80s to Fremont 79, you can see kind of how the microclimates play out from one side to the other. We'll be in the mid-70s on the peninsula, noticeably cooler out on the water. Take a look at Half Moon Bay, our representative for what's going to be going on at the beaches today. You may not get a whole lot of sunshine there today, but you should get some. But you can see the influence. Your temperatures will be staying in the 60s. We look back towards inland Contra Costa County, already getting plenty of sunshine there now, and the temperatures up in the North Bay as well. Very much in line with where we were yesterday. We're going to take a look at the futurecast for the marine layer for the next 12 hours to show you how that's going to play out. We're also going to talk about a little bit of haze in our sky and why it's not such a problem for air quality, even if it maybe doesn't look all that pretty. We'll go over both of those. Plus, we'll have the 7-day forecast with technically a cool down for the weekend. I'll see you with all that in a few minutes. Ryan, back to you.
All right, thanks, Darren. Well, today is the first day of Hispanic Heritage Month, and it's an important reminder of the struggle some in the community do face. It's been a tough week after a federal judge ruled that the protections of the program DACA for Dreamers is unlawful. And our Jocelyn Moran spoke to one San Jose dreamer who is now worried she may be forced to leave the only country she's ever known.
I don't remember the trip here. One day I was in Mexico, the next I was in LA, and then now I'm in San Jose, California, and I've been living here for the past few years.
Flor Martinez Zaragoza came to the U.S. with her family when she was just 3 years old. She's been protected from deportation and has had a work permit through the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, better known as DACA.
When I went to high school, graduated high school, thankfully that's when DACA came out. If not, I probably would have gone back to farm work.
The Obama-era program allowed her to work legally. She now has her own nonprofit that focuses on supporting people like farm workers. But DACA has taken its hits in the last few years. While Flor is still a DACA recipient, she thinks about others who haven't been able to apply.
And I'm always thinking about the high schoolers that graduate these past few years where they aren't able to just apply to DACA.
First-time DACA applications have been blocked since 2021 when a Texas judge found DACA unlawful. Then on Wednesday, the same judge ruled that the Biden administration's revised version of DACA was still unlawful. Existing DACA recipients like Flor have been and are still able to renew their DACA applications. They are still protected even under this new ruling, but this is likely to go to the Supreme Court.
They're just reminding us that, oh no, you're unlawful, that's not right, that shouldn't have been done this way. And so now these news, it's not that we don't care, but in a way like we feel numb to these news. Because imagine someone reminding you like, oh, so you're depending your life on this piece of paper and, we're going to take it away or, well, we don't really think it's good.
There is definitely fear.
Cesar Bautista is an immigration attorney with nonprofit in San Jose, Amigos de Guadalupe. He suggests DACA recipients talk with a lawyer.
To see if there are other pathways. There are definitely people who have DACA that qualify for other types of status.
We've talked with Flor over the last few years. She's been sharing her story and advocating for the rights of immigrants and farm workers. She says what's needed now is immigration reform.
I would suggest that we stop fighting for DACA, stop trying to keep DACA, and we start fighting for citizenship because that's what we deserve and that's what we were promised.
And DACA protects around 580,000 people in the U.S., including thousands right here in the Bay Area.